And we're racing. This is the 2021 NCNCA District Championship Masters Criterium 45 to 49. And we are in Atwater, California. This is the former Castle Air Force Base. Decommissioned, no longer active. There's SuperDave in the Monster Media kit going off the front from the gun. This is a fun race. Fun course, long straightaways, a little headwind there, and then let's see, I guess it was a kind of a crosswind here, right to left. And as you see on the bottom as we're coming up, it's just a big old sweeper. You can pedal all the way through, back to the other side. This was a 45-minute race. Not a big field, but definitely some strong riders came out to race for the NorCal State Championship jersey. We did the TT yesterday. I won that. Won my age categories. Third on the day. Had a really good effort. It was a 18-mile change, something like that. Time trial, and I think I was average speed 29.3. So had a strong effort. Wasn't sure how my legs were going to be today in the crit, and so I wasn't. I'd say I wasn't too active right as I wrap it up to 500 watts there, coming out of turn 4, coming back to the start finish. But got Dave up the road, got other guys with some teammates, Thirsty Bear and Pete's behind me there in the rear cam, and Thirsty Bear coming around me there. SJVC, San Jose Bike Club, up there too. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to try to be patient. So I want to get in a break, but I don't want to blow myself up trying to do it. So I'll kind of follow wheels a little bit here and kind of see how it unfolds. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf, race a little bit smarter. But yeah, super long straightaways. At least, between turn 4 and 1, and then I guess that would be 3 and 4. There goes an attack. I think that was John Novikov. He's a good crit racer. He's got a good sprint. And I kind of let him get up there, and then I'll kind of put an effort. I think this might be Brian Zimney. Pete's coffee on my wheel. It's pretty strung out. 33, 34 miles an hour coming through the corner. You can see all the flags. There's really good wind indicators there. So now it's kind of cross left to right, a little cross tailwind this way, I guess. But we got a gap. SJVC falls off. Looks like John Novikov in front of me, Jeremy Cattell, or Cottle. I should probably know how to pronounce your last name, Jeremy. Jeremy won the road race. Happy for him. He sold it away. So there's 5 of us. It wasn't a huge field, so can't remember if we get brought back here, what happens. Looks like we flick Thirsty Bear, falls back behind Pete's. SuperDave's still in the break from the gun. Man after my own heart. So Jeremy flicks John through, kind of looks back, and it's kind of a little counterattack, I guess, here. So we kind of bridged up to him, So that I kind of open it up here, do my part. Sorry about the rattle. Those are it's my internally routed cables, my Aerofly 2 bars, my SL7 internal cockpit. I should have turned the rear camera microphone on and turned the front off, so you heard a slight vibration. There were some bad sections of pavement. It wasn't terrible. I think Zimney falls off here. Now it's just the four of us. I take it back. He's still on. I was trying to remember how this unfolds. So all kind of still together. I don't know if it gets brought back completely.
Inside.
And Dave goes again. Got a little recovery in there for a second. Yeah, it looks like we're kind of all back together here. So as soon as it kind of comes back, Dave goes off the front again. I'm not going to chase him. I want him to get off the road. I'd rather have a break established, try to bridge to it, than trying to establish it. So I'm sitting on the front, but you can see I'm not putting in very many watts, in less than 200 or around 200 now. Kind of letting it open up again. It was pretty warm out. We were the last race of the day. Got out there early, had our teammate race the second race of the day at like 9 o'clock. Jeff Qualley got second in 60 plus, 60, 64. Larry Nolan, the legend, came around Jeff in the final sprint. It was a combined 55, 59, 60, 64 field. So Jeff got a solid silver medal on the day. He won the road race a couple weeks ago too in this category, so he's riding really strong. I think that might be Jason Thirsty Bear, Jason Graffrath. I kind of counter him, go pretty hard, bump it up here. I think maybe it's time to bridge up to Dave. Felt like he's a good brake mate, but I didn't want him to use himself up, kind of soloing away. So, but it's hard because you don't want to drag the field with you, and so you gotta wait for the right dynamics. This was the only headwind sections, one little part here, and it was either cross or tailwind on the bottom of the course. The last kind of sweeper, I'll call it turn 3 and 4. But we're 8 minutes into the race, and no one really wants to bridge up. So I'm hoping there's a counterattack, kind of slow down here on the front, hit the free hub a little bit. We should eventually, someone will go, and they do. Thirsty Bear comes around me on the wind side, kind of. You can see the flags. Camera on my right side. Kind of ramps it up. I'm going to jump on his wheel right away. Got John Novikov on my wheel. And again, Dave's still up the road. He's got a pretty good gap going here. So I think we could barely see him. We weren't great on time gap coverage, I'll call it, or reporting. Usually they yell the gap. Yeah, I heard nothing there. So, and then this black canopy up here on the right, this is where we kind of set up shop. There's my white SUV. Got Richard, and I think Tyler Yonke, which is John's teammate there behind me, the rear view. Tyler's kind of recovering from a pretty bad crash, actually. Good to see him out, but just came out to watch. I think he posted some video on his Between Two Wheels podcast, Instagram and Facebook stuff. So. got Dave way. You can kind of, I don't know if you guys can see him or not. He's up the road a little ways. Just gonna be patient. Legs felt pretty good. Again, I wasn't sure. I put in a, I don't know, it was a, I think it's a 37, 38-minute effort for that time trial, 13 miles, 37:49 or something. But yeah, you know, 340 watt effort, whatever. The day before crit, you wouldn't normally call that your openers, but I wanted to race the time trial, try to get some redemption from coming up a little short at Masters, Nationals in Albuquerque in the TT. I got third there. Really happy with that result. But it's like I liked TT, but I like it better when it's over. So had a good one there. Coming off a win last Sunday down at CBR, Dominguez Hill Circuit Race. I actually soloed off the front in that one. I'll put the video link up because I had cameras on that one. That one's on my channel too. If you haven't seen that and want to watch that one. Yes, I kind of had some momentum. I got, you know, 2 win streak coming into today, and I was feeling pretty good. So I think this is Jeremy. He's going to make a move here. Red kit. Try to bring it back. Kind of let that open up. The thirsty bear guy. Get Zimney and maybe a Roken. Pete's Coffee guys behind me. Poor Dave's just sitting out there in the wind. So this guy's just kind of rolling on the front there, but I think Dave got a pretty good time gap there. I'm trying to remember how long. I think we ultimately bridged to him at some point. But this is my first time watching it too, after doing it, so. There's Robert and the fellow promo van. We'll just pass on the right side there. This is a pretty cool course. We should have set up down here in the shade, down the grass. It was way nicer. I'll definitely do that next time we do it again here. Again, start finish. And John kind of initiates a little move. And I think that might be Jonathan Roken kind of going with him. We just kind of watch and see, keep them in sight, see if they're able to get up to Dave up there. So now you got one guy up the road, 2 guys chasing, and the rest of our massive size field. Just kidding, I think there's only 12 of us in the field. Kind of waiting to see how this unfolds. Dave's way up the road, and Novikov and Rodkin, data-driven athletes, and Pete's up the road, and then I think it might be Jason, Thirsty Bear, picks it up to 31, coming into the sweeper. This is cool because you can kind of pedal all the way through this corner. One little kind of metal grate there to kind of go over. Wasn't a problem. I think this is, I don't think there was a single crash on the day. That's a pretty successful day of crit racing. And then he kind of pulls off, and I bump it up to, I guess, what, 6? I'll put down some power. Jeez. Conserve, Mark. And I think I pulled the whole the whole way. I'm trying to string it out. It's time to move up now. So Roken falls off, and is it John and SuperDave? And a lap rider up there? Let's see. I'm trying to remember how this went. Yeah, I think that guy's lapped because he just pulled off. Yeah, it's the SJBC lap rider. So we come around. And so I guess when I countered Jason, Thirsty Bear, we kind of broke it apart. And so now I got Jeremy on my wheel, we're coming around Dave and John. Dave's going to sit on the back and kind of recuperate. We've got a good gap here, but I feel like we shedded a couple riders before too long. So Jeremy's riding strong. Happens to be a world champion. Those are world champion bands. He's a big track guy, so he's definitely got a motor. And so I'm motivated to make this thing stick, so I don't care about taking turns. Let's get the brake solidified here. And so I jump back on the front. I take a little 30-second 400-watt pull or something. But then no one wants to pull through. I'm like looking back. You see my shadow looking back. I'm like, come on, guys, let's do this. And Dave's coming back. I don't know if those guys were just spent or. But we kind of sneak away here. So now it's just Dave, me in the middle, and John. And we shed whoever else was on our wheel. Jeremy and I don't know if it was Zimney, and I don't know who was with us, but they ain't with us now. It's just three of us. I'm trying to, so my Garmin, I had live segments on this. Segment kept popping up right on the same spot.
Come on, let's go!
Every lap. So I'm trying to motivate us here. And I don't think John's been racing much. So probably should have came a little more for breather. But, so I kind of feel good on. I kind of sit up a little bit for him, try to make a bigger draft as we come around him. So he should be echelon on the other side of me. Oh, I guess he is. Cameras. Let me see his shadow there. So it's a left to right crosswind here. So it's just three of us now. So it's cool, but props to Dave for that kind of counterattack when there was 5 or 6 of us and we caught him there. So I try to pull wide and let these guys kind of come through so they're sheltered a little bit there. We're working pretty good. But I think John's hurt. He's kind of pulling at 25, and Dave's kind of pulling 27. I'm trying to pull at, what, 28? There's my Garmin beeping every single lap, literally, in live segment. So be careful if you have a Garmin, you start a segment in Strava, and it's connected to your Garmin. Literally every lap I was trying to turn that live segment off so I could see my power again. So Dave pulls off. He kind of makes. He's not going to let John skip a pull.
Inside.
And then he finally does. I didn't notice. I guess Dave kind of. He went around the right side there and jumped back on. I didn't know John wasn't with him. But I think he kind of reattaches here on the corner. But I think he was getting close to needing a breather. Dave's a good rider. SuperDave is super. He's smart, man. He's cagey. He can so play these breaks way better than me. I didn't know he was laying the wood to John there. And then I knew John was about to go, and so I think I kind of ramp it up here. Take a little 400 watt pull all the way to the quarter. Bump it up to 29 on the backside. He's hanging on. I think next lap yeah, and then Dave kind of skips a pull on me, that turkey. It will soon be just 2. I'm kind of doing my little praying mantis arrow tuck there, holding the brake levers with my hands inside the wrists inside the hoods and my palms turned out. There's a couple bumps on the backside, so you had to be careful of how arrow you want to get through hand position. So we're halfway through, 22 minutes in.
Inside, I got you. Inside.
I don't know if we got any time gaps yet, but there's plenty of daylight behind us.
Time gap. Me and you, go.
Yeah, so John's done.
Let's go. 2 of us.
So I get all excited. This is it, baby. Me and you, Dave. Of course, I have to turn my life saving off, which popped up right here again. There's the beepy here. Every lap. Yeah, this was a super safe course, though. I mean, I would race here again. It seemed like it was a strategically located. You know, it was an hour and 20 minutes north of Fresno. Probably about that much from, you know, maybe the Stockton area or something. You know, hour and a half from Sac or something like that. So not a far drive. Just want a time gap. I think I politely asked Richard for one here. He starts giving them to me next lap. Heat of the battle. Sorry, Richard. Richard just racing the race before this, the 40 to 44 race. But yeah, so if you want to fast forward, this is a lot of me and Dave. I think I attacked him here at one point to kind of test him out with maybe 7 or 8 laps to go. But if you want to fast forward to the finish, the last couple minutes or something, see the last lap, there's kind of a lot of taking pulls. There's the live segment turning on, there's me turning it off. So annoying. But I was kind of thinking maybe we could lap the field on this one. And I think at the end, I mean, when they finally sat up and kind of stopped trying to contest the first and second and just kind of do their cat and mouse stuff for third, I mean, I think we had a minute and 20 seconds, minute 30 seconds ahead of him when we finally crossed the finish line. So I think, you know, had it have been an hour race or something, I'm sure we would have, well, I'm not sure, but we would have stood a chance anyway, a lap in the field. I'm trying to figure out, Dave can out sprint me. I think I got a little bit better legs than him, even though I did the TT, which has been right good. He's more of a sprinter than I am. I don't know if he would claim to be a sprinter, but I've seen sprint. I mean, he's the 2019 U.S. champion, Masters national champion. Won the Crit in Colorado Springs in 2019. So Super Dave is super experienced, and he's a good guy. So if you ever need bike parts, look on one of the Facebook groups, and he's got a lot of bike parts. He's a good guy to know during the time of bike part shortages. But, he and Jeremy are both track guys. I think they do the Hellier Velodrome up in San Jose. After the race, Dave offered to let me ride one of his track bikes, and thinks it might be something that I would have a good motor for. 'Cause I don't have a great sprint, but I can kind of TT, and I guess the fixed gear stuff you don't have to kind of snap as much as you do just kind of roll on the power. So it'll be fun to try that out. Hope I don't crash. I don't know why I'm kind of apprehensive about the track. If it's, I think there's lap cards. That might have been 9 to go there. But I guess the idea of just you have to keep pedaling when you're in fixed gear. I've never done it, but it looks like fun. The nearest velodrome to me is in Fresno, would be San Jose, and that's 2.5 hours if you don't have traffic each way. So it'd be fun to go play around up there a little bit once the race season's kind of winding down. Did the district road race a couple weeks ago. I don't think I'm racing next weekend, but I'm going to race I'm going to go down to the SoCal, do their district championship road race, just to race the road race. I'm not eligible for I'm not in that district, so I would live too far north for the SoCal one, but I can still race it. So I just can't get the jersey or whatever, the title, which is cool. I just like road races. I'm starting to like crits more. I've done a lot of them, just trying to, done some big ones, and, I just don't like crashing. I don't want to crash. So I like breakaways. I figure with 2 guys, are pretty safe. Let's see if we can see the lap cards coming through this time. 12 minutes to go. I don't know what our lap times are. Let's see off to the left what that says. I think it said 9 or 8. $45 a second. My boy Richard, give me those time gaps when I come by now. It's awesome. And I think I started to get a little frustrated. Dave started taking some kind of really short pulls, and I was joking with him afterwards. Like, yeah, there's kind of 4 straightaways, and I was pulling the long ones, and you were pulling the short ones. But no, it was good. I think at one point I kind of throw down an attack just to kind of feel him out a little bit. He like wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the race, but he was cool afterwards. I guess that's what you do when someone attacks you in a break. Silence. Not like we're talking a lot. We're communicating. So my turn to pull on the long straightaway here. Let's see what the lap card says. Dave thought they were at 5 and then they jumped back up to 7, but I didn't see that, so you're going to see that. There's 7 right there. I think Dave might have just been a little hypoxic. Geez, he was off the front, kind of from the start of the race. So he definitely earned that spot in the final selection of my 2-minute break. So 7 laps to go. I think we're still kind of rolling pretty good, putting time into the chase group. Kind of pull through here again. And I think the motor ref, I think that's Mark Franklin. He's a good guy. He's USAC official. I didn't notice, but I guess he was just kind of chilling up here watching us race because everyone else is behind us. So he must have thought maybe we were going to lap him, whatever. He's pulling up to us, or just wanted a good seat to see how the front of the race would pan out. So I think we should see 6 to go this time through. So I think next lap I attack him.
Come on, Dave.
And I kind of sit up and like, see my shadow. Come on, buddy. 6 to go. What?
Come on, Dave, let's work. You said 5 laps to go 10 minutes ago.
Poor Dave. Gone 6. What is 6? I think he saw 8, and out of the corner of his eye, maybe thought it was a 5 or something. I don't know.
I saw 7 before that, so I don't know which one.
Yeah. It's funny what you see when your eyeballs are turning inside out because you're riding the brake. You don't have a ton of time to recover. I didn't know if he was trying to do some mind game with me or something. I wasn't sure, but like, come on, man. So that's a little frustrating because I think that the lap card thing kind of threw him off there. And so I kind of pulled the whole lap here. So I think I may or may not throw an attack here on the other side of the sweeper. Because he dying, I could probably solo away for 5 laps. That way I won't have to sprint you, Dave. And there's the elbow. I'm like, God dang it. So I'm like, alright, here we go. Let's go 700. 800 seated. I mean, this is a pretty big attack, but I didn't realize he was already in my wheel. So then he kind of high cadence comes around me. I'm like, shit, maybe he's still fresh. And then he kind of sits up and coasts again. And then I think he was kind of like, alright, now I'm not pulling at all. He kind of gave me the cone of silence for a couple laps after I did that to him. So I probably should have countered attacked again because my heart rate's not too high yet. I'm good. I can go to about 184 if I need to. But you know, you don't know how the other guy's doing. He might end up countering you and dropping you and soloing away. So I don't want to risk a good thing, a two-man break, but that turkey. That thirster guy kind of trying to reintegrate there. I don't know if Mark told him not to or what. They were, you know, they just got lapped. So it's not gonna chase all the way back on. There's not deep enough field to do anything with it. But yes, I think I pull some more here. I think I take my 1 lap punishment for attacking Dave. I mean, I could have just sat. I didn't know the time gap, or I might have just done the whole stop pedaling to see if the other guy goes. Or I can't do a track stand, so Dave probably can. He's a track guy, right? So, but it didn't come to that. He finally pulls through after a lap. I think that was 5 on that one. Maybe it was 4. I didn't see it. But let's see. Just looking at the timer, we're like 37 minutes in, 7 minutes left. So we're getting down to the final countdown here. I may or may not have just said here they come to try to get Dave to pull through. But they're so far back, there's no. I think even though we're not pulling hard, I think they had already kind of set up and they're trying to figure out what they were going to do for their field sprint. I think we still have 50 plus seconds on them. But little cat and mouse.
We gotta pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know if these pulls hurt me, because I still put down like good numbers in my sprint. I mean, I had, I think, 1350 max watts in the sprint at the end of the crit. That's pretty good, I think. But again, Dave's the sprinter, so no spoilers, but it's going to come down to a sprint between Dave and I. May or may not already know how that turns out. She said we got it. So I think we're going to see 2 to go next lap. Let's see. But we just do this back and forth, so if you want to fast forward a little bit, or just watch along with me here.
All right? Here, this side. Come on.
Well, it's a Garmin Goose. Turn the live segment off again. Tries to start it loud. So you see, you've got kind of definitely a tailwind going through that sweeper, and then kind of a left to right cross tailwind. More of a crosswind, yes. So I think we got 2 to go. 2 to go on the lap cards. Yeah, but Dave is he's a good breakaway rider, so he can read races good, better than I can. But he likes to take a lot of flyers. I do too, so it's always fun racing with him. He races down in SoCal also, as well as NorCal, but he's a NorCal guy, so. Since Sharon won the Masters National Championship Crit, I think Dave will go. I think he should get a custom kind of state champ jersey to wear. The cool thing about winning the district is you get to race that discipline for free for the next year. So if you race a lot of NorCal crits, if you win this, you know, saving $45 every time you race your own age category for the entire next year. So it's kind of a cool thing. So if you're coming into Bell Lap, it's like I won the district NorCal whatever state champ road race in 2019. I was all stoked, like, man, I'm gonna race every road race in 2020, get my money's worth out of this thing. And then COVID shut everything down in NorCal last March, so I didn't really get to play that card very much. So I traveled around racing in Florida and Georgia a few times. I was in Texas earlier this year, back in Florida. Try to make a Florida trip every year. It's so fun out there. Shout out to Top View Sports, Tim and Dana, the race promoters there. They're just good people. Made a lot of friends in the kind of Florida Southeast kind of racing community. So we're coming down the backside here, about a half a lap to go. Gonna lay down a monster sprint. Get ready. Gonna take the last sip of water. Looks like Dave's gonna do the same. There's that stupid live segment beeping again. So I thought I'll hug the outside. I'll let them come underneath me, just so when we come around that finishing sprint, I'll be on the right side and I'll be a little sheltered from the wind off of him. So we kind of drop down 22 miles an hour, and we start ramping it up here. Trying to just kind of stay next to him. And we jump right here. I'm out of the saddle. We're sprinting. 13, 12, 1100 watts. Damn you, Dave. But he got me. So I was happy in second. That was a fun day. Good racing, Dave. Thank you for watching. Check out some of my other videos. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave me a comment. I'll try to post some more videos. Whatever's left of the season. But that's all she wrote, folks. So ended up coming up short in the two-man break, but we stayed away and put on a pretty big gap. That guy that was with us, John, ended up getting third. So good times. Thanks for watching. Give Dave a little attaboy. That's it, folks. Thanks again.